It's the 2022 Waco Annual Charity Open, the second event of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. It is the final round. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the two Hot Geese.
We have a tight battle going into the final round. Eveliina had some hiccups in round two at the very end that have made it a lot more interesting. We get to watch Eveliina, who is in the lead by a couple strokes, with Ohn and Valerie Mandujano right behind her. Kristin Tattar just one behind them. It is anybody's ball game. And I mean, honestly, we could have a chase card.
Yeah, the chase card isn't very far behind them. And Eveliina has been in the lead, I think, the entire tournament, but, you know, only by a couple strokes. Mm-hmm. Waco is known for things happening and drama, late in the game.
And they're known for sudden wind shifts and big wind, and anything can happen.
Yep. Anything could happen here. Hole one, 291 feet, throwing through the gap, hyzer, sidearm, whatever you want.
At the 10:20 tee time, teeing off first, your leader at 4 to par. From Finland, Eveliina Salonen.
Love this view. The Pro Tour invested in these awesome tables behind the tee pads for the film crew. It looks great. Great job, Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Eveliina's been throwing a mid off this tee, and that's a little early. Oh, and it didn't make it past.
10:20 a.m. tee time from Los Angeles, California. Ohn Scoggins.
That's basically a re-tee.
Yeah, there was a right to left crosswind here too, so you showing any sort of underside of the disc to that wind, it would definitely carry it left out of bounds.
I think this is a T-Bird 3 for Ohn.
Disking down from her normal destroyer.
And it works beautifully.
Next up, from Universal City, Texas, Valerie Mandujano.
Valerie, recent switch to dynamic discs, looking pretty comfortable. She's throwing an Evader here. Oh, that's beautiful.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So straight.
Yeah, never any doubt on that one.
I know it doesn't look crazy judging by the flag.
Your lead card.
It's breezy, though.
From Estonia, Kristin Tattar.
It was very windy on hole one, surprisingly.
Pretty cool to have two Europeans from different countries just show up to America and, just slay these courses.
Yeah, find their way onto lead card. Mm-hmm. No big deal. We all expected it. Honestly, I think everyone has high hopes for them, and also is just so enthused to have them here in the States again.
Absolutely. So Eveliina is choosing to take it close to OB. It's not great there. Like that left side is kind of creeping in, forcing Eveliina to throw sidearm.
Mm-hmm. And even a flexi sidearm that's finishing towards and downhill sloping out of bounds.
Yeah, it's a difficult bogey save. Like that's headed towards OB and is.
Oh, just over the wall.
She's relatively close for her double.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's like an immediate swing here. Probably a lead change. Kristin just pitching up for her par.
And then here's Valerie with a birdie putt.
What's interesting about the wind is typically you experience more of I'm trying to remember now what the wind normally does here. It was opposite from what is normal.
It was a north wind on round one and a south wind today.
Yeah. Great birdie there from Valerie.
What a strong start. And on this course that's so situated right along this river, the wind is amplified, just howling through that wind tunnel that is the river. So you really feel a difference, and it completely changes your game plan and the discs you're throwing on every hole.
Mm-hmm. Not nearly as bad as the first round as far as conditions, but still much worse than yesterday.
Yep, and it did get worse as the day went on. The wind got more intense.
Wow. Look at Ohn and Valerie now, tied for first so suddenly.
Yep. Just one hole.
Waco.
One hole, everything changes. Hole 2 is a 530-foot par 4. There's out of bounds all the way down the right-hand side, and it wraps around the basket. You guys see in the upper left corner, Swarm Digital Marketing. We're happy to have them on board again with working with us and GKPRO. They support women's disc golf, and we want to support them. So if you are looking for website development or design, if you have a business that you're just trying to amplify your engagement or increase traffic to your website, click the link in the bio, check it out. They're really awesome people, and they would like to help you increase your digital marketing. Swarm Digital.
And they're just nice.
They are really nice.
So Ohn's disc did something I think really typical of what the wind is doing today. It's kind of left to right, and it's taking the disc and pushing it. This is a pretty good adjustment from Valerie.
Oh.
It's a little far to the left, but there's still lanes to get the birdie from there.
I didn't talk about the OB line all the way on the left side, but it doesn't really come into play until you get close to the basket.
Yeah, it wraps closer as you go.
This is the easiest hole of the day for the FPO field. Oh, look at that shot.
Wow. Gorgeous. I bet that was a grace from her.
Beautiful hyzer flip, using that tailwind. I mean, was it a headwind? Trusting that headwind. It was a headwind, Lord. What day is it? What round?
It was like more of a left to right, with a little bit of a headwind. This is good too. Evelina's been so far up here every day. Oh, look at our little friends over there. Eveliina beats Kristin by 4 inches.
Yeah, the birdie percentage on this hole increased every day. Today it was up to almost 40% of the field with a birdie.
Figuring it out. Together. Ohn overturns this and stays in bounds though.
Valerie with a fairly open look to the pin. Got a couple trees to work her way through. Oh, man, she was really trusting that disc. That was going to look like it was almost going to be out over the river.
It definitely was. She was throwing a Criminal, which is a very overstable fairway driver. So just trying to take that middle tree into play and hold it a little right, I guess. Valerie now on her 3rd. This is a verdict.
Par is still 100% in play, of course. And
yeah.
It will be a no-nonsense par.
She hates nonsense. Oh, there's the wind.
Yeah, Kristin gonna have to really throw that disc on a hyzer angle into the screaming headwind to let it finish right. Maybe gonna have to work the skip here.
Yeah, she's pretty pinched. It looks like a pretty awkward angle there. Working the skip, like you said.
Oh yeah.
Minimal nonsense.
Everyone loves a tailwind putt, right? Oh, it's a headwind. God,
yeah,
what?
it's normally a tailwind.
Yes, it is normally.
So to have it be a headwind again kind of changes the discs that you throw.
I'm still having trauma from the first round. Yeah. Flashbacks. Eveliina playing the skip as well. She'll land at similar distance.
Yeah, it was about 15 miles per hour sustained winds today. Nice little upshot from Ohn. I believe that is her pig. Eveliina for a birdie.
Man, that's rough wind.
Yeah. And, I mean, she'll have the better wind coming back, but similar distance for her par.
On the warm-up green, we talked about putting into a right-to-left crosswind and how horrifying it is. You're like, do I Annie putt? Like, I don't practice Annie putts.
Time to start.
Time to start. Texas will make you learn your putting angles, that is for sure.
Wow. Maybe Estonia taught Kristin how to
Yeah.
or learn her wind putting angles. That was just a low laser beam. Spun it right in.
Yes, on straddle putting, sometimes I feel like it's hard to get that linear drive through the wind that you need. But she made it look easy.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, Eveliina going to have to deal with the bogey.
Yeah, rough start from her.
Super rough start. I wonder if there's some tournament nerves or I mean, these holes are difficult in the wind. It takes every bit of focus that you have.
Yeah, look how fast that happens. Kind of a nonsense bogey.
God.
All right, I'll stop.
I knew that was going to come down. Yeah, it's just surprising to see bogeys and double bogeys on this hole from the lead card because this is a fairly simple hole statistically, but like we say over and over again, the beast, it can happen on any hole.
Hopefully not on this hole. Par 3, it is 320 feet. Generally gonna throw a, straight pushing shot that hyzer skips towards the basket. Where you land on the hill and controlling your skip is important. There are other routes, but I think we've seen everybody kind of take this main gap. Let's see if... Oh, that's the inside gap a little bit, which works out pretty well. More of a straight skip and you need it to hyzer instead, but I think she's in circle 2.
So this is one of those holes that it's pretty easy to minimize the damage, being just a wee bit out of reach with the angle that you have to release the disc on. But even with the less, oh my gosh.
What are words?
Even with being able to minimize the damage, it's really difficult to get a birdie on this hole. It's been a low birdie percentage every single day in the FPO field.
Yeah, what happened to Ohn and Valerie here is so typical, where you think it's fine, and then it skips up just outside the circle and makes you earn your putt on that elevated basket. Eveliina's is turned a little too much to the right, but skips pretty well. Gets her just outside the circle. It's so hard to park this basket.
It's so hard. You have to get the height and get it to carry on that hyzer angle. And it is definitely uphill.
Yeah, you feel it. Let's see if Ohn can give us a little highlight putt here.
I was going to say, she's running it. Playing conservative today on this elevated basket.
Yeah, elevated baskets in the wind, it's not a bad idea to just
Get it
pitch
close.
up and take your par.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what Valerie decides to do. Yep.
Yeah, this is why you don't see a ton of bogeys happening on this hole in the FPO field. I think this is a pretty similar mentality on how to handle this hole.
Just be smart. Boring.
There were only 2 birdies on the day. Let's see if Eveliina can be one of them. I don't know. She's outside the circle.
Nope.
Katrina Allen and Emily Beach found the 2.
Ohn with a little bit of work left to do on her par. Not a problem. And Ohn just winning this thing right now. So awesome.
Just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And everyone probably excited to head into the woods for the next handful of holes. Get out of this wind for a little while.
Almost 2 handfuls.
2 handfuls of holes. Before we go, though, let's check out the leaderboard. Ohn holding on to the lead right now.
Check out Katrina Allen, 6 down, bringing her to
6 down to 8 holes.
Yeah, yes, through 8 holes, so even overall.
She's in the mix now.
Yeah, heavily.
Heavily. Everyone probably struggling just a little bit on those open holes, more than normal, but now we get into the woods and it's anybody's ball game here.
Yeah, par 4, only 441 feet. The aggressive play is to throw a fairway driver and have it skip over to this corner, and then it really calls for a forehand or a backhand anhyzer, trying to land it softly and not careen into the river behind it.
This played as the third most difficult hole of the day. Yesterday it was the most difficult hole on the course.
Wow, that was a really low skipper from Kristin. Ohn went destroyer yesterday. I think that one's the T-Bird 3 that she threw on hole 1. And it's a great angle.
Yeah, that looks like it worked just fine.
I think
Being left is okay. Even if you're in the woods a little bit, it opens up your second shot angle.
This is an EMAC Truth.
Wow.
Yeah, and I like the disking down and kind of letting it glide over rather than trying to play something really fast, because the skip can sometimes get out of control.
That early left is the danger zone, but I think Eveliina is just far enough past and just shallow enough where she won't have to worry about it.
Maybe just worry a little bit.
A wee bit.
So Ohn did skip onto the edge, and she got kicked to the right there. Hopefully she's not too deep. Wow, Kristin, pretty similar lie here. And this is a pretty tough angle.
The squirrel's trying to lose his life.
Kicks into the middle. Well done. Valerie also opting for the forehand here. Probably looking at that inside gap at this point. This is about as far as you ever see a drive get on this hole.
100%. To just show you how difficult the drive is, 53% of the field with a bogey or worse. So, I mean, this hole is not easy at all. So, to get your drive way down there, there's still more trouble you can get in.
I gotta give Jessica Weiss a shout out. She was really early left on her first shot, and she was so deep in the woods that she said, I'm just gonna re-tee it, and then essentially 3'd it to get the bogey, right?
No
like
way.
The coolest bogey save I've ever seen, like legitimately. So baller.
Just catching that one tree in the middle. She'll be so pinched off that she cannot see the basket. Throwing a blind shot towards the river.
This looks like
Wow.
a good line.
Yeah.
It was kind of headed towards the river, but that tree's very close, so should be a par for Valerie.
This will be Own's third shot. She's also pinched off a similar location where Valerie just threw from,
But worse.
but worse.
Oh, she has a gap, though.
And that tree is right around the edge of circle 2.
Kristin's third.
Yeah, just looking to pitch up here. This is the type of hole where a birdie feels like an eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Par feels okay.
Par feels great. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Were there any birdies today?
There were 2 birdies. I don't think I'm spoiling. I apologize if I do. But they were not on our card.
No, I think we're past that.
It was Kat
that
Merch and Paige Pierce
Great birdies.
finding the 3s. I played with Kat in round 1, and I know she said this is the one hole she wanted to get, so big ups.
And Valerie unable to convert on the par. It's a tough look from 12 feet.
Yeah. Major death putt as well. Stretching to get into that bush.
She's like wedged in between two little trees. Good
Yeah. No big deal.
putt. Nice par.
Is that everyone else on our card looking at bogeys?
Isn't this one for par?
Is this for par? I believe this is for bogey.
Oh.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. This hole is hard to keep up. All the shots look similar. Yeah, that was for bogey.
Yeah, my bad. Good comebacker there from Valerie.
Just like a 4 feels like a birdie here, a 5 doesn't feel too shabby. You know you're getting a bogey stroke, but you know you're not losing much to the rest of the field.
Yeah, it's true. Double bogey, not feeling so good.
Eveliina having
Is
a
she
hard time.
5 over?
Yeah.
That's
Not the
rough.
start you want in your final round.
I mean, she's still pretty close to all the other ladies.
I'm Garrett Girthy. People know me as Double G. I've been making Double G craft jerky since I was 16 years old.
Whether I'm at home or on the road, Double G craft jerky is the snack that I go for.
I've actually found myself eating Double G craft jerky on my long drives to the next tournament.
We all know Double G's got a big arm, but he's also got a big heart. Every bag of Double G jerky that you buy supports children's disc golf and goes to a great cause.
You can find Double G craft jerky at doublegjerky.com.
You've seen them in the hands of professionals, helping them compete at the highest level. Whale Sacks is a female-owned small business, handmade in the USA. We are dedicated to outstanding grip for all disc golfers.
Focus. Get rid of any of those pressure thoughts and really center yourself, like where you're at and the shot you're throwing. Trying to just really let everything besides the basket bleed away.
Hole 5 is a uphill 264-foot par 3. There is no out of bounds you have to worry about, but there is a lot of quote-unquote artificial OB if you get into any of these trees. The play here is to try to throw something into the side of the hill just before the basket and let it skip up to the basket. You might see some people trying to throw it over the hill like we see Kristin doing here, and that is such a great shot.
Yeah.
It brings some of the low-hanging branches into play, but man, she executes that so well.
I think this is a turn from Ohn. Catches the right side and fades over to the left. The left side's definitely better and has more gaps to try to get to the pin.
Yes. Ugh, her form. I just think it's so beautiful.
Yeah, that didn't get away from her at all.
No.
Do you know what she threw? It's a getaway.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't 100% sure.
I like that you just agreed. Like, that's a weird thing to say.
Feeling agreeable today.
This is great too.
Yeah. They're making this look so easy.
That was a Mako 3.
Only 17% of the field with birdies. So
Yeah, so
those
that's
are,
really good.
yeah, those are some astounding drives. Ohn giving it a good bid from circle to land.
Eveliina for her birdie?
Let's see if we can't turn this round around.
I mean, she still can, to be clear.
Still can.
There's still time. But yeah, got to start making some moves. Ohn making moves over here.
Saving pars.
Yeah.
Kristin again having to work with some branches and trees on the green inside the circle.
This is to take the lead, though. If she makes it.
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome.
And
Man, so much has happened.
just like that.
We got to thank you guys for tuning in and watching us. Thanks to GKPRO. They do have some merch, some Two Hot Geese merch, and some of their own stuff as well at gkprodisc.com. Go check that out. I hear the lilac shirts are fire.
There's so many different colors to choose from on the Two Hot Geese shirts. I'm really, really excited to get mine.
Honk to that.
Honk to that.
Hole 6 is a pretty short par 3, 267 feet. Sidearm or backhand putter or mid-range that turns to the right is a good play. Even if you throw it straight and kind of hit this final hill, it tends to kind of filter you down onto this green.
I think sidearm is the play here, especially a sidearm that finishes more straight and just slides down the hill instead
Exactly.
of forcing the hyzer.
Kind of like this.
Yeah, Kristin does it perfectly.
That's literally how you draw it up.
That looked like a mid. I wonder.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was. But it was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
This is a gold line fuse. We started to throw this yesterday. Not quite as good a result as yesterday, but she's fine.
Again, want to shout out GKPRO. They turn around their footage so fast that we have a hard time getting disc lists from the competitors. It is a good problem because you guys get to watch the coverage ASAP, and we
Get to go home and eat dinner early.
So our apologies for not knowing all of the discs. We do our best, and we appreciate GKPRO pumping this footage out ASAP. Woo!
Wow. Looking like she was running it.
Definitely an ace run.
Yeah.
Yesterday, she was just a little bit early. Today, just directly online.
Yeah, Ohn a little early and pretty punishing over here. She does have a gap, but the angle is so difficult to get it all the way down there for a putt.
She'll be stuck up on the top of the hill and unfortunately still not even to circle two.
Straight look at it from here, though. She should be good from there. What do you think? Soft bid?
No.
No, layup.
Definitely. The bushes right behind the basket, they're inside the circle. So if you just go trickle by just a little bit.
Like this.
Yep, this is what you're dealing with your comebacker.
And these are the strongest twigs in the world. Scientifically proven to just stop your disc.
We only spit cold, hard facts here. Go ahead, look up the peer-reviewed. Eveliina just a little bit short for her birdie. So close.
Great putt from Kristin.
Yeah, Kristin holding on strong.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden she's
pulling ahead.
Pulling way ahead.
I don't know. I feel like you need 5 strokes to be way ahead on this course.
You're right.
Even then, maybe 10 strokes.
Yeah, there's still 6 more wooded holes after this, any which could easily take your number.
There's witches out there? I'm sorry. Okay. I couldn't hold it in.
It's Sunday, folks.
We're so tired. Ohn, at least saving the birdie. It's easy to let one of those early, off the fairways turn into something bigger.
Mm-hmm. Limiting the bogey strokes. Hole 7 is a 430-foot par 4. I love this hole. You want to get something through this last gap. There is a mando on the left you want to avoid. Finish out in the open. Ideally, you have a mid-range or a putter shot over this gully onto this sloped green to tap in your 3. It was windy out there when we played. It looks like it's maybe a little bit calmer today.
Well, it's hard to tell until you get out of the gap.
Kristin pushing deep on the gap, and look how far.
She's to the gap. I mean, honestly, she's too far now.
She's going to be completely pinched, but I mean, that was every bit of 400 feet.
Yeah, that's a crazy angle. Like, most people are going to throw something straight that hyzers, and she just threw so straight with just a little bit of finish. Man, that's
crazy.
Rough that she didn't get a better result.
Valerie, early releasing, but honestly, what happened is best case scenario. There's a bunch of things that could happen. Kicking to the right at all is kind of a death sentence. It's an instant par, and it's a tough par. Save.
Instant par is, I feel like, a gracious way to describe the right side.
Instant par minimum.
Yeah. Eveliina also kind of catching early, but dropping down relatively in the center. And Ohn, this is like kind of how most people draw it up.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait to see where Kristin is and how pinched off she is. I mean, the distance on that shot.
I hope she has at least a sidearm or something.
Yeah.
Like, if she would have landed in the middle, she'd be jump putting for eagle. Wow, tough footing.
Not a bad place to land, though.
Little iron branch.
Yeah.
Texas strong. This is pretty.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Go. Oh, man.
God.
That was gorgeous.
That was unbelievable. The shape of that shot, it got that little bit of turn right in the middle of the flight that you want.
That was her fuse again. She's really throwing that disc well.
Ohn sadly going to filter down on the left side in all those sticky trees. It doesn't leave a lot of putting opportunities over there, but you can sometimes find a gap.
Eveliina trying to throw something in. Parks it.
She'll have a tap in par.
So this is what Kristin is left with on her second shot. Such a tough angle. I wonder, it looks like she's trying to cut inside this tree. Pretty well done.
Yeah.
That is a rough spot, though. Again, doesn't leave a lot of putting opportunities. So such a shame to not get rewarded for that tee shot. Oh yeah, see, this is terrible. She's maybe just a foot outside the circle, it looks like. I can't quite tell, but like that looks like nothing.
Really, the only option was almost to just pitch out from there. But she's got such good angle control on her sidearms that she 100% could have made that shot happen.
Yeah. Valerie with a pretty long comebacker here for her birdie.
And it is an extreme death putt, dropping off right behind the basket into that gully. Boom.
Wow. Highlight putt there.
And for the birdie.
Trying to reel Kristin in.
Ohn manages to find a gap and get her birdie too.
Awesome. Wow. This is some good golf, people.
Yeah. Some scrambly golf too. This is what you need to do well in the woods at the Beast.
Just a reminder to all you fine folks, if you want to catch this action live rather than listening to us honk around on the post-produced coverage, go ahead and check out a subscription to the Disc Golf Network.
Hole 8 is the shortest hole on the course. It's 213 feet. It also is the smallest gap, so it keeps this hole very difficult. I think the play is to throw a putter kind of at the ground and let it slide up to the basket. You might see some sidearms as well. It's okay to be on the left-hand side at pin high. Anything early left or right is very difficult to deal with. Man, Valerie's form.
So
I can't. I'm a fangirl.
smooth.
I'm a fangirl.
Yeah.
It's so buttery.
That's that fuse again. Silky.
Yeah, she goes a little bit past the basket, but she's inside the circle. Ohn lining up the sidearm, working those angles.
Oh, yeah. Flashing the basket. Unfortunately, probably skipping too far and
It's
might
rough.
not have a putt.
Yeah, it's rough putting past the basket.
Looks like Kristin is disking down to a harp versus Ohn, I think, through a destroyer.
That's a great kick if you're going to get one. Kicking to the right is brutal. There are a few gaps over there, but also a lot of bushy trees. Buttery.
Yeah, we saw Eveliina with this Rock X3 tap the basket, was it yesterday? But end up too deep. She looks like she stayed a little bit closer today, so hopefully she has a putt, because that is a great drive. Love that touch. Just needs to check up.
25% of the field getting a birdie on this hole. That's higher.
awesome.
That's higher than I would have guessed.
Yeah.
This
Well,
gap is tough.
It's just what you've been talking about all weekend, Madison, is playing the same course for 3 rounds. You start to, really
Figure it
dial
out.
it in.
Wow, Ohn was
She was so deep.
so deep.
Just has to pitch up.
This green, too, is pretty scary to have a comfortable putt on. Even if you are close, a lot of times it is a death putt. So that's pretty cool. Love that. Valerie for her birdie.
Nice.
Solid.
And that ties it up.
Ooh, I love all the lead changes.
I
So
know.
exciting.
It's changed so I need to keep a little tally sheet here. See how many times it's changed. Wow, not what I would have guessed. 8 holes in. Oh no.
Yeah, once you get on the bogey train, it's so difficult to get your mind back right again. It's especially a final round of a tournament that you came into leading, like, oh, the pressure.
Yeah, that train's going fast. It's hard to find a stop. Hole 9 is a par 5, 519 feet. If you throw a perfect shot and get down into this bowl, you are just a wonder, and you will have a straight look at the pin here. There is some out of bounds on the left side. It's pretty hard to find. You're going to see a lot of people throw a really straight, usually fairway driver. Occasionally people will disc down to a putter or a mid and just, play for the conservative 4, but most of us are trying to throw this. This looks great. It just needs to keep pushing.
It's fine. It's
It was
out.
a little bit, it faded just a little bit early, but it was really close to perfect, and she's on the edge.
I feel like Valerie, the way she's throwing today, she can't mess up. I don't understand how there is a way for her to mess up, because it's so perfect, such perfect form, and her timing is so on. She has hit the dead center of the fairway the last 5 holes in a row.
Yeah, looking silky smooth.
I like this play from Kristin. I'm not sure if it was on purpose, but I think keeping it low is great because it minimizes how far into the woods you will go if you do catch one of those fairway trees that are extremely catchable.
Yeah, and it can still skip pretty far if you land it, relatively flat. Mm-hmm. Oh, missed the tree.
Oh my gosh.
That was
brutal.
Smoked and moving in the right direction. Just missed and just needed to miss that fairway tree. She's pretty punished here. Pretty good.
Yeah.
From where she was,
Yep.
that was tough.
She made it down into the bowl. She'll have a straight look at the green.
Ohn with kind of a patent pending stance, choosing to go backhand.
That was a great looking shot.
Yeah, she's a little too far on that side, but not much.
No, with her ankle control, she will still be able to try to get it up into the green.
Yeah, for a birdie. And she's in a good spot to flex a sidearm, actually.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like that harp again from Kristin. Pretty small window here.
Oh.
And gets the bad kick. That's
Yeah.
a really narrow gap she has here now and a really steep angle.
At this point, she's still just trying to get down into the bowl so she can see the green. But it looks like she's going to play a little bit more aggressive and try to cut some of that corner.
So it should be a pretty easy pitch up, as easy as you can make this last shot anyway for her par. And Valerie farthest off the tee here. Pretty open look. This is a getaway, which is also what she threw off the tee. And that's fine. She's right next to Kristin and shouldn't be able to birdie it and probably take another stroke.
This played is the 6th most difficult hole of the day. 8 FPO players getting the birdie out of 48 competitors.
Oh no. Eveliina hitting that fairway tree and is in a worse position than she just threw from. Bogey train is speeding up. Tough angle for Ohn there. She throws it too low.
Oh, man. I was talking with Seth Munsey today of Disc Golf Strong. Y'all check it out if you haven't already. About even if you're trying to fight out of getting a million bogeys in a row or like the stressful situation that Eveliina's in, even if you think your mental game is going to shape up and you can try to, your body's still in overdrive.
Yeah.
And you can see it's so easy to just start shanking and not being able to control your disc anymore. Even if you're like, I'm going to be positive.
Right.
Your body's like, no, you're not.
Nope.
There's Kristin chipping up to the green. No problem.
Perfect shot. Oh boy. Eveliina throwing a roller maybe? Pretty decent result. Just outside the circle.
She'll have some trees to contend with for the putt.
I love how this tree just kind of swoops and like frames the basket.
Yeah.
You know, like
This is kind of like a infamous Waco putt. This exact line around this particular tree.
it's so satisfying if you hit it though. Yeah, I didn't even keep track of that. That has to be at least a triple bogey.
Yeah.
Wow, commanding birdie there. What a great putt from Valerie. Played that hole beautifully.
I think this will be for the double.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
And how quickly hole 9 can get away from you. There were 7 doubles and a triple bogey on
Ouch.
this hole to frame up how easy it is for it to get out of control.
Yeah. Wow. What a front 9. Valerie Mandujano is winning by a stroke. Kristin Tattar following her. Eveliina really struggling and dropping back on the leaderboard here. Ohn playing clean. She's even and hanging right in there. She's still in the mix for sure.
We still have a couple more holes in the woods, and then we go out into the open. And it was windy today, folks. It was gusty windy. Before we go, let's check out the leaderboard.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited to see what people are doing. Wow, Henna Bloomers 5 down through 11, and Katrina Allen holding strong 6 down through 12.
Oh, it's just screaming up the leaderboard, trying to find their way into that top 5. Macy Veladiaz holding on strong. Cat Merch doing the same. It's still a really close ball game.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks to GKPRO for the awesome FPO footage. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb, and we're your 2 hot geese.
See y'all on the back.